If you're looking to buy a home in Winter Park this year, 2025, you need to know that there are certain homes that you should avoid at all costs, even in a market like Winter Park. Because Winter Park is admittedly one of the most desirable areas in Central Florida. Winter Park is charming, it's got history, it's got brick lined streets, it's got lakes, it's got Rollins College. It's just beautiful, and it's a very nice place to live. But just because it's popular and it's generally a nice place to live, that doesn't mean that every single home in Winter Park is a smart buy. Some homes might look like a great deal. I mean, maybe they are in a great school district, maybe they're right near Park Avenue, or near Rollins College. But if you're not careful, you could be stepping into a financial trap of ginormous proportions. These homes that you're looking at might feel like a good idea at the moment, but they could cost you thousands and thousands of dollars in surprise repairs and insurance issues, maybe even resale problems or legal headaches down the road. And since I have this talk with all of my one-on-one clients about what to buy and what not to buy and how to avoid these traps, I thought maybe it was a good idea to make a video about it so other people could benefit from it as well, especially people looking to buy in Winter Park. So if Winter Park is on your list of places to live, I suggest you watch this video, and I know for sure that you'll find it useful. My name is Brent Danholm, and I help buyers navigate the Central Florida market all the time. I have a special focus on high demand neighborhoods like Winter Park, and my mission in life is to help you and my clients to make smarter and more stress-free real estate moves and avoid the pitfalls that can turn dream homes into a regular money pits. And if you ever watch that movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's get into it. I'll be talking about 5 types of homes that you should absolutely positively avoid buying in Winter Park this year, even if they look amazing online. Number 1 on the list is homes with major structural issues and homes that need extensive repairs. First on the list, on my list here, is homes that look charming but are falling apart underneath. Homes with structural repair issues. Winter Park, as you probably know if you've been looking for a while in the area, has a lot of older homes. Some were built in the 1920s, 1930s, and 40s, and some even before that. And those homes and the character they bring is definitely part of what makes the area so appealing. But along with that age, just like with people, comes risk, especially when maintenance hasn't been kept up. Foundations can shift over time, wood rot can settle in, you can be dealing with outdated plumbing and electrical systems that can quickly become safety issues. And some of these homes, they quite frankly need more than just a touch of paint and new countertops. Some of them, because of lack of maintenance over time, they really need major reconstruction. So unless you got a very, very hefty renovation budget and a good stomach for stress and a solid marriage if you're married, you might be better off walking away if you run into one of these homes. So if the inspection report starts listing things like cracked slab or foundation settling, original cast iron plumbing, maybe something called knob and tube wiring. I don't even know what that is, but it's something that you should definitely avoid because it's old and outdated. Roof leaks and structural sagging. If you see these things in your inspection report, you are probably not just buying a project, you're buying a major risk. So if you are drawn to that historic charm, and there's lots of it in Winter Park, make sure you get a thorough inspection and make sure that you know exactly what you're getting into. Because in Winter Park, because there's so many homes, that adorable bungalow that you're looking at can quickly turn into a 6-figure rehab project. Number 2 on my list is homes in high-risk flood zones and sinkhole-prone areas. This is part of the traditional location talk, but not the close walking distance to Rollins College or Park Avenue kind of location. Certain parts of Winter Park are prone to flooding, especially around the chain of lakes. There are low-lying roads and areas with poor drainage. And believe it or not, sinkholes are a real concern in some parts of Central Florida, even in upscale neighborhoods. These things do not discriminate. So buying in a flood zone means that you will be required to carry flood insurance, and even if you weren't, you shouldn't. And that can be a significant ongoing cost. And even worse, many policies don't cover everything. So even if you're insured, you could still be left with a very, very hefty repair bill if things go wrong. And what about sinkholes, you might ask? Well, these things are unpredictable and incredibly expensive to fix. And that is assuming that they're even fixable. So before you fall in love with that lakefront property or that hidden gem, it's probably what's in the description, near a canal, you should ask yourself and your real estate agent these questions. Is the home in a FEMA designated flood zone? Has it ever had a sinkhole claim, or did the neighbors have a sinkhole claim? Because that could indicate something is maybe showing up in your house. What kind of insurance can I get, and what would the cost be? So, because beautiful view or not, you definitely need to know what's under your feet when you're buying anywhere in Central Florida, especially if you buy something that looks like a great deal. Number 3 on my list is homes with title issues, maybe zoning problems or legal complications. Winter Park has some pretty unique zoning laws. They have historic preservation rules and they have very strict land use restrictions, especially in and around the historic district. So buying a home here can get complicated really, really fast if you're not paying attention to the fine print in the zoning, in your contract, in every document you get, basically. I have seen buyers get tangled up in deals because of issues like this, because a previous owner maybe added an extension to the home without permits. Maybe the property was inherited and ownership was never really properly transferred. All of this should obviously be taken care of by your title company, but I'll get to that later. Maybe there's a lien on the home from unpaid taxes or work done by the city because of the zoning laws, works is sometimes being done by the city. Maybe the home is designated historic and cannot be modified the way that you were hoping when you bought the home. These things won't always, and quite often, not show up in the listing, but they will show up once you're under contract. But if you're really unlucky, they'll show up after closing, and that can turn into a real nightmare then. So what I'm saying here is, if the deal seems to be too good to be true, dig a little bit deeper and make sure that you're always working with a solid title company that will pull all the necessary reports before you get in too deep, and make sure that your contract states that all these things need to be in order before you close. And if they're not, you can back out of the contract. Because the last thing you really want to do is buy a home with a lot of messy legal stuff attached to it. Believe it or not, even in Winter Park, there are areas like I'm about to talk about. And this is number 4, properties in areas with stalled or declining value. Now, this might actually come to a surprise to a lot of you. But even in a high demand city or areas like Winter Park, not every street is going up in that value. Not every street is equally desirable. In fact, even in Winter Park, there are small pockets where homes sit longer, where investors have overpaid previously and where they're now offloading quickly, or maybe some development plans stalled out. And these little micro trends matter. So just because a home is technically in Winter Park doesn't mean that it's a prime location. And this is really important because when you buy in an area like that, it's really easy to get caught up in the moment. So if you're looking near the border with less established parts of Orlando, you need to pay real attention to how the surrounding areas is developing. Are businesses in the area opening or closing? Is crime going up? Other homes being renovated or just sitting? Is it generally in decline? Because it is so easy to get caught up in a very low price tag, especially when you're looking in an area like that and thinking, oh well, it's Winter Park, it will bounce back and I'll get my money. And this is a great investment. But that's not always the case, especially if you need to sell again in a few years. Because declining areas can be good areas to invest in because at some point they're going to be gentrified. But if you're selling within a few years, you might be at the bottom of that decline, not on the way up. So check the comps carefully. Look at how long similar homes are staying on the market. Maybe talk to your real estate agent about neighborhood trends, not just the city averages or the area averages, but that specific neighborhood trend. Because a good home in a flat or declining area is still a bad investment, especially short term. And then there's number 5 and the final one on my list. Sorry, homes with poorly done DIY renovations. This is something that can trip up even some experienced buyers. That homes that have been renovated badly. Lots of good DIY projects out there. I haven't seen many of them, but they are there. I'm sure there are even more bad DIY projects, and those I can assure you we have all seen. These homes, they look great in pictures, but when you get inside and maybe get under the hood a little bit, something quickly feels off. Maybe the the layout is strange. Maybe the finishes feels mismatched or not quite finished. Maybe stuff doesn't line up quite right. Maybe tires are not quite lined up the way they should be. Maybe there are gaps in door frames. And especially in a place like Winter Park, during the last few boom years, we saw a huge wave of investor flips, people who were buying and flipping. And some of them did okay and even good jobs. A lot of them didn't. And a lot of them didn't really care at all. And some of these renovations, some of these flips are probably downright unsafe. So here are some signs that I want you to watch for when you go out and look at something that looks like a flip. Something like flooring changes from room to room with no transition, poorly laid flooring, if you can feel a little bit of elasticity when you're walking, cabinets that are not hung quite right, electrical outlets in weird places are not working, outlets, sloppy tile work or paint jobs. Don't look at it and think, oh, I can easily fix that, because it is very likely it covers something even deeper. Maybe no permits for major system updates. Remember, almost everything that's major to a home needs a permit and a professional contractor as well. Something like roof, plumbing, and HVAC. You don't want people to DIY that stuff if you're buying it. It's probably all right if you're living in it, but the minute you are the one taking over that DIY project, no. Because these homes, when you have these types of DIY projects, they can end up costing you a fortune in repairs and updates. And the chances are that you're overpaying for them because they look new and they look well renovated. And if you discover these problems after moving in, problems that the sellers didn't disclose, it can not only cost you a lot of money, it can also cost you a lot of headaches. So if if the work that's done on the house looks questionable, maybe ask for a list of contractors. Make sure that you get all the permits for anything structural or mechanical. And if they don't really want to deliver any of that stuff, they don't have that stuff on everything, maybe reconsider. Maybe it's too cheap to be cheap. Because at the end of the day, when you're buying a home, you deserve a lot more than just a pretty listing photo. You deserve a good quality home and safety, and you deserve to know exactly what you're walking into. So let's do a quick recap of the 5 types of homes that I know that you should avoid in Winter Park in 2025. First of all, homes with serious structural age-related repair needs. That can be so costly. Properties in flood zones and areas with sinkhole history. You don't want to do that unless you really want to buy yourself into a headache. Homes with title complications, zoning restrictions that are not fully disclosed at the time when you're buying, or legal baggage of any sort, really. Homes in areas with stalled or declining market trends that are specifically dangerous, particularly dangerous was the word I'm looking for, if you're looking to sell within a few years, or you're not sure if you want to sell within a few years. And finally, renovated homes with questionable or unpermitted work that can cost you an absolute fortune. So I have a question for you now that you watched this video and you're hopefully staying with me still. Have you ever been looking at a home and thought, this could be a problem, and later realized that you were totally right? Or maybe you just backed out of a deal in the very last minute because something just didn't feel right. If you have, I would really love to hear your story. I'd love to hear what you did to fix it. So drop your story in the comments. I reply and read every single comment on my videos. And I'm pretty sure that whatever you have learned from your experience, other buyers will want to learn from that too. And obviously, if Winter Park is still your dream location, which it should be, it is absolutely one of my favorite areas, just as long as you know that what to look out for. Contact me and I can make sure that you will find the right home. If you want a free consultation, I'm always available for that. Just drop me a line in the comments or send me an email. My contact information should definitely be in the description of this video. So or give me a call. My phone number is there as well. Or you can have it right here if you want. It's 407-288-0704. That was 407-288-0704. That's my personal cell. Just give me a call and I'll be happy to talk to you about buying homes anywhere in Central Florida if you have any questions about this video at all. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, why not give it a thumbs up? It literally takes less than a second to give that thumbs up. Maybe give me a remark if you think something could be done better. If I've been rambling or think this makes absolutely no sense, let me know that too, because I just want to improve and learn how to make the next video even better. If you do enjoy to learn about or hear about Central Florida real estate trends, Central Florida real estate issues, why not follow the channel? It's free and it's without any obligations. And if you want to be kept up to date whenever a new video is uploaded, we do that a couple of times a week. So we're definitely not overburdening you. Then hit that little notification bell as well. It will make sure that you get a notification whenever I upload a new video.
Hey, it's Ben Danholm, and listen, if you don't follow this channel, there's a good chance you'll never see me again. I consistently create helpful content for those who are currently in the real estate market. This information can be extremely helpful for your buying and selling needs, so be sure you like and subscribe here. And most importantly, leave a comment to let us know if this video was helpful for you. We're here to help the Central Florida community, and we always love your thoughts and questions. Follow now, and I'll see you with our next helpful video.